Japanese civilization attack bonus. The samurai will crush their opponents easily. 2 million is still too low. I have 3.5 million. The German civilization cavalry have a 5% attack bonus and 5% training bonus. No one is a master ahead of battle. Well, I hit 5 million. How? Didn't we start at the same time? The British civilization have both attack and training bonus, and the Ally garrison capacity bonus of 20%. Strategic games don't rely on single battles, but alliances working together for co-development is the way to go. Well done. I choose you. Explore.
Your guardians make a lot of armor from your enemies.
Oh, heaps, yeah.
So, say you killed the captain.
Yeah.
You cut off his face.
Right.
And you wear it on your helmet.
Correct.
Now you can teleport.
Exactly, mate.
How does that work?
Oh, it's bloody space magic, mate. Can you hear that? Bloody hell, that guy's 2 kangaroos away from full farm. You know what I'm talking about?
Minecraft, the command to hide potion effect.
Alright, so hello everyone, today I'm going to be going over the next command, which will be the effect command. Now this one is a big one, not like, you know, a huge one, like the execute and all that other malarkey and all that, but this is a pretty big command. It is the effect one right here. So if you do type in /effect, you can see how many things you can apply to this command. So we're going to be going over every single thing and what you need to put in to get the command in order to be using this. I'm going to obviously describe everything like how I normally do, but for the effect command, it basically adds or removes status effects. What status effects are is basic speed, slowness, like all that different type of stuff, like, you know, what's the other one, like hunger, different stuff like that, and there's loads of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a status effect, and then we're going to choose our player. Now, as you can be how we went over before, like the at A or at, but I'm just going to do at S, because that is going to be myself. I'm going to call this to myself. However, you can put whoever else is in your game, their username in, or you know, whatever, and it'll put the effect on them instead. So you can do some trolling by, you know, making like the nausea, like that one's a pretty trolly thing, like you just put nausea on a friend. But here's every single one. So obviously you can see not all of them are on the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to, if you have a keyboard and you're using a keyboard to type this, it's way better. But what you can see is it ends at S. So what we're going to do is we're going to do every single layer of the alphabet after S. So S, you can see at the very, very top, you can see there's 5 there which have an S at the start of it. So that them are, you know, some more. Then we're going to do T. Obviously none there. And then we're going to do U next. I'm trying to do my alphabet, I think it's U. So none for U. V, Village Hero, so there's one there. I don't know an alphabet. S-T-U-V-W. So W, yeah, we've got 3 there, so War, Breathing, Weakness, and Wither. X, I would doubt it. Y, O, and Z. Okay, so that's all in there. So, you know, you have all of them on the first screen, but then you have a couple more that I've just went over there, and that's the easy fix on how to, you know, solve that issue. Just type in every single letter of the alphabet afterwards, deleting it, you know, afterwards. Anyway, but that's all the commands I was going to write. So all you need to do is you literally need to just put it once. I'm going to put speed. That was not on the front screen. Obviously, you need to type in S. You can see that. We're going to do speed, right? So that's the effect. Now, if you press space, you'll notice that it doesn't actually say anything like to help you. It actually suggests it's right there, seconds. Because if you just do this right here, it gives you the normal give speed 0 for Joshua England, 6 for 30 seconds. It gives you the normal speed level for 30 seconds. So it's just the basic default amount. That's if you don't put any designated, you know, time or nothing. But yeah, them are the 3 things you need in this command for it to work. Now there's some extra settings that you can apply. So you can put the amount of seconds. So if we do, instead of 30, we'll do 45 seconds. It'll then, you can see right there, put the same amount of speed on for 45 seconds instead. Now if we add the extra effect of the amplifier makes it so the level of the effect is higher. So we just got like a level 0 effect. Now we're going to put a level 2 effect. So there you go, we've got now a level 2 effect for 45 seconds now. You can do some really cool things where you have a level 255, it goes all the way up to 255 by the way, and you can do stuff like this, where you're just skipping around everywhere. It's way better when it's just your playing ground. But this is what you can do, and it's even worse when you do it with a jump boost. Because it's just literally go like 1,000 blocks in the sky. It's pretty cool. So that's the amplifier right there. It's just the level of that effect. The seconds, you can change that. And then you can do the true or false thing, which basically allows it. So if this is an effect that you apply to someone, you can keep it true. Or if you want to put it false, I believe that removes the effect. No, it doesn't. I thought it removed the effect, but I don't know what that true false thing does. Honestly, you don't need it, really. And then there's another thing as well. If if you delete all this right here, there was another thing. You actually need a target the player, so we're going to go at S again, and then we're going to do clear. So clear, that's basically, it's not obviously an effect, but when you do that, it takes off all of the effects for whoever you're on about. I don't know what the whole true or false thing was at the end, but I believe there is a way to remove certain effects, like maybe, if I like this, no, you can't remove it. But anyway, if you find a way to remove certain effects instead of just all of them, then please put in the comments, and I will pin your comment if I find it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Have you done ballet before?
Hey guys, and welcome back to my world. So today I'm going to show you how to actually turn off the particles when you give a custom effect to a player or a mob. Now bear in mind, this is in a snapshot, so this will be Minecraft 1.8, so you will not be able to do this unless you have at least snapshot 14W06A or higher. Okay, so first off, I'm going to call Bob over here, and Bob is actually going to help me out to just demonstrate this. So if I give Bob invisibility. Now, in the good old days, you would have seen that there was these little particle effects. So you would have been able to see if somebody was actually, or a mob was invisible, if you looked carefully enough. Okay, so in 14W06A or Minecraft 1.8, we now have the ability to actually remove the particles completely. So you'll see Bob is now completely invisible. I mean, you can still hear him, but he's totally invisible, and he can no longer actually, you can no longer see him. If I give him the normal effect again, you'll see there's the particles. Now, it's only one extra tag that has been added, and that's just it's just set particles or allow particles, okay, which is just true or false. So if we go effect and drag nose, so I'm just going to do oopsie. So you'll see this is hide particles. So it's effect at the player or entity, what the effect is. For example, this was 14, which was the invisibility. I gave it to him for 10 seconds. The amplifier, there is only one amplifier or one level of invisibility, which is 1. And then we have hide particles, which is true or false. So over here I said true, which means it hid the particles. This one over here I said false, so it will allow the particles. Now by default, if I remove the false, by default it will always have the particles. Okay, you actually have to say true for it to disappear. So to just give you an idea of what it'll look like on a player, this is what regeneration would have looked like from a well, first person view. From a third person view, this is what it would have looked like. But if I now actually use the hide particles true, you'll see even though I still have regeneration running for 1 minute or 1 minute and a half, I no longer have the particles. If I select this one over here, you'll see I do have the particles, and it's exactly the exact same effect. Okay, so yeah, just add true or false to the back of your effect, your command, and voila, you are now particleless. Particleless. Hey, that's actually a cool name, particleless. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will check you all later.
It's a concert film, but it's also a story. I've never done anything like this. This is a dream come true. Happier than ever. A love letter to Los Angeles. A Billie Eilish concert experience. Streaming September 3rd on Disney+.
Alright, we're checking out the only game that can enslave an entire legion of Endermen that will eventually abuse game physics to not only destroy everything living in the area, but dig a hole down to the bowels of the underworld itself. It's Minecraft. This is Gary, not to be confused with Gray. He is the first of my Enderman minions, of which I will get a new one every 1 minute. Now, besides dropping all these Ender Pearls for me, the Endermen can, of course, be upgraded. Now, in the beginning, they have some of their more typical abilities. Hello, Emma. Such as being able to teleport. And obviously brutalizing anything that I attack. Hi, everyone. Don't worry about the Endermen. They can also scout areas and find them for me, which is really cool. An Enderman named Martha! You guys better have cards here. Good. You get to be spared. Alright, now first things first, obviously we're gonna have to upgrade them. Hey, Barbara, the Enderman is here now. Oh, and of course, like I had said, they can eventually use Ender Pearls as rail guns. You now have enough Endermen to be teleported by them. Okay, so ready? Hold on, let me try this. Alright, so... Yeah, if I get attacked, they will actually teleport me away from the threat. Now, obviously they're pretty weak, but once they eat this iron golem, yeah, now at the top, you can see they'll tell me exactly where all kinds of different things are. I'm sorry, man. I need you as a test subject. Whoa. Yeah, that's what happens, man. Now they're just murdering everything they see. Martha is still on scout duty. Teleportation hacks. Hold on. Go! Thank you for the Ender Pearl. Okay, they're starting to drop ridiculous stuff now, such as an Enderite sword and chorus fruit that allows me to teleport all over the place with them. Tons of Ender Pearls everywhere. I feel like I've been stealing stuff from these villages so often that they just don't have anything left for me to take. I guess we're digging down. Boop. You know it's gonna be a good day when I haven't even left the first town. Oh my god! Apparently these Endermen are hungry for planetary goods. A healthy diet of rocks. So will you guys just attack anything I attack? Woo! Answer is yes. Woo! Okay, these guys have to get upgraded to the next level. Here, mine these for me. Here, right here. Thank you. Ah, an Enderite chest plate. Well, I need to get some light going there. And when they mine, they put it right in my inventory. It's like the ultimate lazy. There we go. Where's the gold at? Now, obviously, the more they get upgraded, the more ridiculous this gets with them eating the planet. They're finding a lot of iron for me. Timothy, Abigail, Johnny, you guys just were brought into this world and you're already murdering everything. I'm so proud. Get wrecked. Well, I found gold. Oh. Alright, we got the Enderman leggings now. I haven't even used this yet. We also have a teleporting stick. But first, I gotta grab all this super ore. Yeah, yes. Oh yeah, they're finding all the super ore for me. Hello, Martha. I see you'd like to join the team. What was your previous experience? She's like,
I was a barista at Starbucks.
congratulations, you hire. I'm not gonna lie, stuff is out of hand. Carl fell through the world. Numbers are getting crazy. There's Jacqueline. My entire inventory is just getting full of Enderite boots. As I was saying, full of Ender Pearls. And every creature that isn't us is getting ruthlessly slaughtered. The sad part of this is normally we stop them and release that hunt. We didn't do that this time. So if I keep just screwing around, this is gonna get really bad and it will probably eventually just crash the game. Pigs, you have no idea how sorry I am about this. I'm sorry. God, it's just constant slaughter. They're not even upgraded that much. I need a tree. Ooh, the Enderman made you a present. All right, there's the helmet. Now we have our full Enderite set. Oh, thank God the slaughter can finally stop. Go! Woo! Yes! Destroy the forest! Oh my god! Ah! Imagine this for a moment. You're over at the GrayStillPlays.store looking out some new summer merchandise such as rookie numbers. Yeah, that's what happens, man. Huh? New pro legend, and hell, even an acid wash gray sleeveless shirt. When all of a sudden, you're accosted by a person wielding a 7-foot-long German hammer of death. New Gray Still Plays merchandise protect you against this. Oh God, you will now safely be able to say to yourself, no, it will absolutely not protect you. GrayStillPlays.store, son. Okay, I've got to get some crafting done. Good enough. Yeet. Deet. All right, boys. You know what to do. Go get it. Oh my God. That moment when you're throwing away ender pearls because there's just too damn many of them. More. Okay. This, boom. Perfect. It's time to get stupider. All right, I'm gonna finish this up. They're still joining. I can't even put down this damn furnace. Okay, this. The thing that's really sick is, remember, they're only upgraded right now to the first level, so now things are about to get out of hand. Let's just go all the way before we get to the nether. Woo! Okay, hold on. Are you ready for this? You ready? Here we go. Oh my God! No survivors! Might as well do some flint and steel real quick though. The other thing I haven't even really abused that much is the teleport stick, but now we will. Yay! You can literally teleport to anywhere on the entire map that you can see with this. Woo! Now you may be asking yourself, Gray, what are they shooting at creatures? Hold on, let me show you. Kill the bait. Did you see it? They're gonna literally bludgeon the dragon to death with ender pearls. All right, you know what? We're just gonna there. We'll just fly. Where's your lava at? They just destroyed the entire planet. They're still joining. I've got like 150 of them now. Ooh, found the lava. Woo! All right, hold on. They should be able to get me a ton of this obsidian if my inventory is open. So let me get rid of this. All right, here we go. And hold on, let me do this, yoink, this. There we go. All right, boys. You know what to do. And there you go. Actually, hold on. Why not? Let me get a little bit more. The second I touch the lava, they teleport me away from death. It's so good. All right, now I would say we have enough obsidian. All right, everyone, just rest in the lava for a little bit. Oh, Gray's got the portal. Mary, you're in the way, guys. Okay, I think I can get them to leave me alone so I can make the friggin' portal. Oh, I'm almost done. There we go. All right, boys. Let's destroy some lives. Alrighty. I love that there's a wall in the way, and they just completely remove it. It's like an Enderman construction team. Yeah, get rid of that mountain. There we are. Perfect. I told you. Okay, so if we see a blaze, we can literally just teleport over to them. Here, watch. Yes! Hey, skeletons, you boys like ender pearls? Get up! Oh, there's some blaze rods. No, don't kill him over. Damn it. Oh, there's one more here. Nice. It's like playing point and click games. See, point, click. All right, just gotta get over to that side. And what do you know? There's blazes. No survivors. Come on. Lady Luck. I can't even see what loot I'm picking up. Poor Reginald is just in the middle of all this insanity. Like, what have you learned, Reginald? He's like,
the answer is always death.
good boy. That's my son. All right. Sarah, how's it looking up there? Sarah's like Violet. Kyle's rising up.
Dear Hanson, turns out this wasn't an amazing day after all.
Now we can both pretend we're your friends.
Would anyone even notice if I just disappeared tomorrow?
Dear Hansen, yeah, that's me. Look, I really need that back.
Connor took a letter from me, and it was an assignment from my therapist, too.
Connor wanted you to have this. Dear Evan Hansen.
He took his own life.
I'm sorry, Connor didn't write this.
No, please.
I mean, you're really gonna tell these people that the only thing they have left of their son is that letter that you wrote to yourself? Connor showed me that I wasn't alone. Nobody is.
And we're ready to roll. I don't know what's going on behind me, but it sounds really bad for the penguins. All right, ready to go? I would say it might take us a little while to dig our way out from underground, but I would be lying. All right, so they grab the teleportation stick, pop out real quick, and stick the landing. I just know it's some way this way. Well, let me double check. Got a key to move, they're all over me. Yeah, there we go. All right, kids. Real quick, who's hungry for hamburgers? Hope you like them rare. Oh, I'm sorry. Someone must have wanted chicken nuggets. But you can't eat Reginald because you'll end up getting, like, hepatitis C or something. Poor Reginald is probably like, hey, I'm sorry, Reginald. They'll get diabetes because you're so sweet. I imagine they'll still obliterate the squid.
It doesn't have if it's double chested and it doesn't have a iron print unless it's the main chest.
Where Jennifer was born. Jennifer, would you like to go say hello to your parents? I feel like given this group, Jennifer would be like, I hated my parents. Very good. I'm sorry, buddy. Hi, everyone. Your children hate you. Sorry, you just happen to be in the way of trying to find the stronghold. Oh my God, the Iron Golem stands no chance. Over there is Jennifer's dad. Sorry, man, no survivors. I feel kind of bad, too, because this town did have plenty of carbs in it. Oh, man, y'all been growing super wheat here? Hell yes. Actually, given what they just did to that city, I guess before we destroy the Ender Dragon, we need to understand exactly how overpowered this group is. Juan, get your ass-kicking shoes on, because we're about to go deep. Juan's over there. He's like, that's the only shoes I own. And put that there. Try this for once. Yeah. And here we go. Oh, Lord, yeah. Oh, I've got to turn it off. Oh, God. I can't see. Okay, there we go. The ground is going to be littered with so many ender pearls after this. Best part is, I can use the teleport stick to see all of the different angles of this fight. You want to look over on the right? There you go. On top of the building, boom. The magma cubes have lasted longer than any creature I've ever put up against my army. And so, I will allow them to have this city. You may keep it for all time. After all, there's no one else living there. I don't know what they're firing at, but it's giving me the opportunity to actually see where the hell I'm supposed to be going, so that's good. We're up. Then make the ice on the way down. Perfect. And we're there, out in the middle of friggin' ocean, of course. Not that it really matters with the team here. You boys know what to do. Dig! Or dig until you see the walls. Okay, I hear death this way. Yeah, here we go. I told you, it was just a matter of where the sounds of the death were. And I really hope they don't, like, kill the portal, though. Here we go. Behold my team of Ender Pearl projectile vomiting death. Blast out of this. Now, I wonder if I can defeat the Ender Dragon, like, with, like, straight teleportation. Hold on. So, teleport up. Yep. Go! Teleporting right into Ender Dragon's mouth. Oh, here we go. She's perching. Vomit the Ender Pearls. Yeah! The Endermen are just getting blasted, like, backhanded across the whole map. Yeah! delicious. And there you go. And the Enderman construction crew takes a wrecking ball to the Ender Dragon. Anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed this episode of Minecraft. Till next time, stay talking to you. Much love. Right? People are freezing outside. People are dying. People are crying, right? You can see it. It's a sad state of affairs, okay? Hey, hello, everybody. Grace and Boys. We're checking out a game for the channel called Ostrib. So Ostrib is a upcoming city management building style of game. Kind of vanished, like, you guys know how it is. I'll have links in the description below if you want to check it out. Very early right now. This is kind of like an early alpha that the developer has given me access to so I can check it out and kind of show it to you guys. We're going to start with a new game. A couple of different maps over here to choose from. Game's kind of interesting, so I'm just going to choose the first map. And then we'll go ahead and pause real quick. The reason why I'm pausing is because this game is freaking brutal. If you do not get your stuff prepared quickly, you will have all manners of population problems. So the way the game works is that I like it because it's much like a very living settlement that we're going to build. People are going to have education levels, they're going to be able to do some jobs, but not all the jobs. All the houses are different, which is really cool. Like, when you build houses for all these people, the houses are different. Like, it's not just a carbon copy house, one or the other. There's no grid system. You can snap if you want, but you can build things however you want. Plenty of rotation, everything else. You have to watch the market, you have to trade with other villages, you've got to have imports and exports and food, and you got to pay people eventually with their wages for them to work and all kinds of crap. Right over here, we're starting with 25 people, and we have to get certain things, like, right off the bat. There's not really a tutorial for this. There's kind of like a little indicator about sort of what you should do. It says build a forestry for wood production, and we are going to do that. One thing I want to get rid of somehow is I'd like to get rid of the cursor to move by the edges. I hate that. I always like turning that off when I can. Anyway, first things first. Over to the production area, we are going to want a forestry building right away. We can rotate as we do. And I'm going to shove this like as close to the forest as possible. Right like that. So they're going to get that done. This is our materials, our stored resources. You can see we have like some wood. We have some thatch, but really not very much. Two of the things that we're going to need right away is a thatchery and that forestry center. So let's go ahead and get that started. Get a thatchery done too. The thatchery uses reeds from the water, so it's good to have it fairly close to like a bunch of water and stuff like that, but also fairly close to your village. So I think I'm going to put it like maybe right around in between here and here, because we're going to want a fishing area too. Fishing is so good. Oh, it'll feed you big time. So anyway, let's go ahead and grab a thatchery. There. We're going to go ahead and twist this around so that it's facing the rest of our village right about, how do I feel like it? Right about there, perhaps. Okay. So we have some outlines of some buildings that need to get done. We can fast forward things along. While that's happening, like I said, no time for lollygagging, man. We got to get stuff done quick. We're going to need another well. So let's go ahead and see if we can get one down over here. Well, let me see if I can kind of, there we go. We need at least 2 wells. And then we're going to get started right away on housing. And I think the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to have housing like over here maybe. I'm going to have like a little, maybe like a little road or something like that. And the cool thing is people make their own roads. which is pretty slick. I really like that. So I'm going to put this as close as possible to these tents. We're going to have like one here, and watch this. It snaps. Check this out. It snaps, and you can kind of like manipulate it as you do. So I can give this guy like a slightly bigger yard, for instance. Let's go over here, hire some workers right off the bat, so we can start getting wood. And it's not just like the wood appears. These guys literally have to go out and grab it. You're going to notice that people... I'm going to slow things down just a little bit. You're going to notice that people legitimately bring resources over, and they lay them down in the work site, and then other guys come over and start working. You can see over here, it's stalled right now because there's not enough wood. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have like a ton of foresters over here. Actually, everyone's a forester now, because we're going to want a lot of wood. We can kind of store how much wood and firewood and stuff. We don't usually need that much firewood. I think like, I don't know, man, maybe like 135 or something like that. I had like 125 when I was messing around with the game. I never had any problems with it. You see little birds kind of floating around over here? Over inside the forest, is there any woodland creatures? I'm surprised there's no hunting. Like, there's no hunter ability that you can assign anyone. Let's go ahead and move things around over here. These guys are going to start beating the ever-living crap out of trees. You can see them bringing them down right now. That's what I like to see. And then they bring them over here, and they turn them into legitimate logs. You can see how they line them up, and then they hack them on down. They turn them into logs. It's pretty sweet. Over here, the thatchery almost done. And when it does get done, we're going to go ahead and assign maybe like 2 people to it right away. It should get done in just a second over here, because we need the thatchery to get these village houses done. All right, let's go ahead and assign like 2 people right over there. Like I said, I want to get stuff done ASAP, like right away. You do eventually need a smithy to build more nails, because you can see right now we have like 1182 nails, but that's quite a lot for a while, so we're going to go ahead and leave that as is. Let's continue with more houses. I think we're going to need right around 9 houses or so total, maybe a little bit more. Do these snap like this? I want a little bit of space over here, I do believe. Yeah, we want some space. They're going to build their own little roads, which is pretty cool. So we're going to put someone over here. Oh, something else. When you select that house, you can hold down on the shift key. It actually mentions at the bottom middle portion of the screen right there to place multiples. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's give this guy like a really small yard. This guy is very sad. He's got a tiny yard. It's not as good as his neighbor's yard. And then we're going to give this guy like a nice, potent-looking yard. Now, when it comes to food, we don't have to really mess too much with food. You basically have enough food for the first year. So your first year is legitimately just you building a ton of buildings to get everyone set up to live. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. Okay. So that should be enough buildings for quite some time. We're stalled right now because we can't find clay. So let's go ahead and handle that right away. Over here by production, we can grab a clay pit. And where do I want to put the clay pit at? I think I'm going to put it like over here, kind of close to the middle of town. Let's put the entrance though, so that it goes straight into the town. Nothing happens with the clay pit. It's just made. It's just there. It magically appears. It doesn't take any structure time or anything like that. And each clay pit has 10,000 clay. And that's what the people are going to use in order to build these houses. You can see our resources are dwindling over here. We can deal with it. All right, we can deal with it for now. Like I said, we don't have to worry about food quite yet. Oh, another thing that's cool is that there's like legitimate carts, and people move the carts around and actually use the resources at the different sites. So they have to go to all these different carts, and then grab the cart, and then go over to the clay pit, and then grab the clay, and then take the clay over to the house. I know for some people it's like too much realism, but I really enjoy it. I really enjoy this level of realism. I'm having a pretty good time with this game, and I'm not very good at it right now. I'm still getting there. Oh, the other thing is the organic roads that are made. As these people walk and work and stuff like that and use the carts, you're going to notice that we're ripping up the ground over here. I think that's so damn cool. I love that. Over here by the production area, one of the first things for us to think about is probably the farm. We need a lot of nails and wood for it. How much wood do we have, as a matter of fact? We have a good amount of wood. We actually have a lot of wood. So let's go ahead and grab this, because I do want to get this done. For our farm, I I think I'm gonna put it maybe like back. We have to watch the terrain as well because if the terrain's too uneven, it kind of screws everything up. How about like way over here by all these houses? Terrain's still pretty uneven. Let's see. How about like right over here maybe? Right over here might be good. I do want area for more housing though, so I think I am gonna put it up here. This is what I have to create right next to the clay pit, and the fields are gonna be out back. I think that the fields are a little bit less annoyed at the uneven terrain. We'll find out soon. How's our thatchery doing? Thatchery's looking good. Got plenty of wood stored up. These guys aren't really doing anything anymore, so we're gonna go ahead and get rid of some of them. 2 should be fine. We have 216 wood. So we are, yeah, see, work is done. There's nothing else to do. You can get rid of people. You can hire and rehire and fire people to your heart is content. The only thing that you have to make sure of is that you have the right people for the job. So like if we click on someone, we go ahead and slow these people down so I can legitimately, they're moving so fast. See, this guy has a 1 of 5 education, and there are going to eventually be education buildings to give people education. So he can have a legitimate job. People with only a 0 education, that guy has a 1 education. So these people are 0s. So, that sounds terrible. It's like I'm calling them losers or something like that. They're not losers. But the only thing that they can be is laborers. So these are the guys that just bring stuff from point A to point B. Let's go ahead and get these houses set up. All right, so we've got another house over here that's going on. Let's see what it's going to look like compared to our other house. So our first house over here, there you go.
Every day. Classic beef and cheddar ham. 2 of those things for just $6. Arby's, we have the meats.
No, that's what I'm talking about. The house is different. Like this one has like a little wooden patio area. It looks like half the house is made with one type of material, the other part's made with the other type of material. You got a cool porch over here. These guys get like a cool porch with some steps and stuff like that. A little bit of an overhang. Looking freaking sweet. This house is going up pretty quick, which is good. Our thatchery is basically done. Like we have everything that we need there. We have all the thatch that we're allowed to store in. The wood is starting to go down. We can hire probably like 1 other worker over here. That should be plenty to keep us at right around 200 wood for the meantime. If it's not, we can hire more workers. We got plenty of workers right now. If you hover over your people, you're going to see like who's looking for jobs. See how there's 5 people, 7 people looking for jobs right now. It goes in and out because they end up working on the houses. You got to make sure that you have some workers. These people have to be skilled at learning how to work. So over here we have flour and potato in every house that we make. That's actually really important because that's what's going to get us through our first year. And then we're going to have to worry about making the farm and the fishing docks over here so we can start getting some fish. We need boats too for our fishermen. So we're going to need a boat yard as well. Over here production, fishing dock, which holds up to 3 boats. And then the boat yard. We're going to need both of those. Over here, our lumber guy is keeping up nicely. You're going to see we still have 201 wood. Well, it just went down because they're starting to finish up this house over here. So this house just needs some thatch, and then boom, another house up. And like I said, check it out. Like, this one has a slightly larger patio on this side. It only has 1 window over here compared to these 2 windows. This one has like a, I don't know what this is. It's like a little vase or something like that just sitting over there, kind of looking cool. This one has it as well. Not all of them do, though. And the other thing is that everyone's yard is a little bit different. Some people plant little trees and things like that to kind of linger around. Some people don't. I don't know. It's just a small thing, but I really enjoy the fact that all the houses are just slightly different. If you want to know where the food stockpile is coming from, when the people moved in their tents over here, they actually have a bunch of stuff with them. You can see they have some potatoes and some flour. So that's where it's coming from. I think that someone's working on our farm right now, too, every once in a while. That's not a big deal. I definitely want to see this stuff getting done, though. Oh, yeah, look at all the workers pouring in over here. This structure's going to be built in no time. And you can see how it was saying, like, there's no time to waste. By December, if you don't have houses for everyone, they're going to leave. You can see it's already July. And, like, we went straight into house building. And we're not even... We're about halfway there. We still have 4 more houses we have to build. I mean, this one's going to get done in just a second, so there's going to be only 3 more. But we're we're still going to be getting it close to the wire. There we go. The Carco family rolling on up, man. They got a nice big house over here, too. Look at them. Got some, I don't know what sort of little trees and shrubs they're planting over here. Looking freaking sweet. Getting that big staircase that goes up to the front of the house. Looking good. Now, this house over here, I think that this is one of the sad houses. Yes, this is a tiny little house. Very small yard over here. This poor guy couldn't afford it. Although we're not really charging anyone anything yet, so I don't really know where the affordability comes in. The other thing that we are going to have to worry about, like I said, not really yet, but I do want to at least maybe get the blueprint prepared, is a smithy to make nails. Because we're down to 618 right now. And if you run out of nails and you don't have any more to even make the smithy, I'm not really sure what happened. I imagine it's death and sadness for everyone. The smithy, I think I'm going to put it near the clay pit. In fact, I'm going to put it near the clay pit as close as I can. So there we go. You can drag these around, by the way, and change their priority level for how they get made.
Greetings, Guardians. My name is Bife here. So there's a whole ton left to be talked about thanks to yesterday. The Witch Queen reveal is honestly one of the biggest things we've seen in Destiny's near decade-long history, as far as reveal streams go. And there are some burning questions left over from the reveal. Before we say anything more, quick note, by the way, if somehow you are staying under a rock. Spoilers. Not like leaks, but spoilers from the reveal. So if you want to go ahead and watch the reveal, it's about an hour and 40 minutes, so you should go ahead and stop there. And come back to this video afterwards. Anyway, some big questions left over from the reveal. Why is there a pyramid ship smack bang in the middle of Savathûn's Ascendant Realm? How is the Season of Lost going to prime us for the Witch Queen expansion? And how long has Savathûn been plotting this masterstroke of hers? But unquestionably, the most asked and biggest questions of them all revolve around the Lucent Brood and Savathûn's newfound power to steal and manipulate the light. How was Savathûn able to accomplish this? What are the wider implications for all of this? And could we have predicted this from the beginning? Let's go ahead and try and answer some of those last three questions. First of all, let's start with the how. How was Savathûn able to accomplish this? And honestly, at this moment, we're not sure at all. But I believe this is going to be a question that inevitably is answered as a part of the conclusion of the current season, aka the Season of the Lost. Savathûn is cunning and capable of an incredible amount of insight, so it's not impossible that over her time, somehow, she cracked the code or secret to manipulating the light into gifting certain individuals with its gifts. However, the Traveler is supposedly the one that released all the ghosts, and so it really raises a huge number of questions if somehow these ghosts were maybe stolen away or corrupted, if they were tampered with somehow, or if, Lord forbid, the Traveler released new ghosts, or perhaps if these ghosts simply became corrupted by the Hive of their own will. We know that ghosts can indeed fall to darkness. We've seen it with ghosts that belong to characters such as Toland the Shattered, who endorsed his explorations into darkness. However, Ikora provides in the trailer perhaps the most direct answer to our question, although granted it may simply be based on her own perspective of the matter. Ikora in the gameplay trailer for Witch Queen states that Savathûn, quote, stole the light, which could lead us to some truly fascinating places and conclusions. I mean, last season, under the guise of Osiris, Savathûn literally asked for the light-suppressing device used by the Scions to nearly assassinate Commander Zavala. So we're not in a place where such thievery is impossible by Savathûn, and if Savathûn has picked up this tech, it seems fairly possible that she would be able to reverse engineer it, just based purely on the Hive's greater knowledge of, well, the universe and everything to do with it. I do, however, doubt that such tech would even be a path to the light's power, and the reason I say that is because of Dominus Ghaul and the comparison one can draw between his scenario and this one. The closest comparison, of course, does lie with Ghaul and his attempt to steal the light, but the methods by which he did so were much more forced and imperfect. The light burned him up and consumed him, ultimately rejecting and destroying him. Savathûn's Lucent Brood achieved the same heights as Ghaul by manifesting the light's powers, the supers, but he never had a ghost, and was never capable of the same feat of resurrection that both Guardians and the Hive of the Lucent Brood are now capable of. This is a whole other ballgame, and it almost makes me wonder if there is a more elegant solution and a reason why the Lucent Brood have been able to attain the light like this. The main promotional site for Witch Queen has attached to Bungie.net gives us a little more information on the Lucent Brood as well, and gives us this little note. Savathûn has gifted her soldiers with the powers of the light. As the night you've struck down rises from the dead for the second time, a feeling of betrayal washes over you, and you can't help but wonder, when the light offers no shelter, no solace, where will you turn? Not only does this show that Savathûn's been able to gift the light to her troops, but it also leaves us with a terrifying question which gets us onto our second big real topic of discussion here, which is what are the wider implications for the existence of Hive light-bearers? I think that this hints to something really important, which is that the moral greyness of Destiny's universe is about to become all the more grey. Regardless of whether the light was stolen or, Lord forbid, even directly gifted to Savathûn somehow, and her brood, the light is now a force that can be used by forces that are objectively both evil and good, just as darkness can be used by forces that are evil and good. Unquestionably, One, if a light trends to the moral direction that would save us and would be considered good, and the other, darkness, trends towards almost a moral fascism, but it leaves us still in a place where the Hive, the brutal genocidal monsters that they are now capable of using the light, which has been the giver of life and the antithesis of their entire philosophy, just in the same way that we Guardians have been able to wield the power of stasis in spite of our constant, valorous cries as we defend the lost city of humanity. Destiny's universe is now a place where we're able to ask ourselves the truly great questions, such as whether the light is truly good or whether the darkness is truly evil, or whether one can even view them through such simple lenses that are, admittedly, marred by human perspective. We now have to look deep into understanding the nature of the darkness and the light to gauge whether their visions for the universe are what we truly wish to follow. Knowing that the darkness has created monsters such as Oryx, and that the light has potentially empowered monsters such as Savathun. Either way, Destiny's universe has just gotten a whole lot more complicated, and honestly, that is probably for the better. With the crowning chapters of the Light and Dark saga coming to a close, I think it's appropriate that we should really start to think about the nature of the world in which we're living and get to the core of the biggest question. In the next 3 years, we may be on the cusp of answering the biggest questions about the universe of Destiny that we've ever seen. What is inside the Traveler? What is the nature of power of these two paracausal beings, the Gardener and the Winnower? Is what we read in the unveiling lore book all those years ago true? All these questions and more may be answered in the coming years. I think the final thing to ask is whether we could have possibly predicted that this story would be possible. I think, funnily enough, ever since her arrival in Destiny 2, there's always been an indication that things were going in this direction. It was just so utterly unimaginable that it was impossible for us to see it. We start by looking at our very first encounter with Savathun, which was on Io, a place brimming with light, where she would not only build an army of Taken using her various methods, but would also attempt to access the Vex information in the Pyramidion in the festering core strike years later. In the process of all this, she was probably able to discover at least a little information on the light, given the Vex and their position on Io. Savathun's forces on Titan were capturing Guardians and harvesting their void light to weave their dark magics and summon a great Shrieker to Titan, which Savathun was undoubtedly going to use to watch over that world. The channeling off of the light here in the first place may have given Savathun some inspiration, but there are other places in which Savathun's designs are further revealed. There's a conversation in particular that I want to highlight, one that comes from Savathun's perspective, and one that is conducted back in the days of Shadowkeep. It is between her and the sword logic purist Hive known as Malkamph, who saw the broods that previously had been under Crota's command grow weak under the command of his children, such as Besurith and Hashladu. Malkamph was slaughtered thanks to Savathun's trickery and her willingness to conduct certain plans that allowed her to accomplish her own ends at the expense of the brood. This also was something that allowed her to sit and speak, if only briefly, with Malkamph, and this conversation, which is conducted within the Inquisition of the Damned lore book, is actually one of the most revealing conversations as to Savathun's plans. It reads as follows.
They found someone dead. What? There's a killer on the loose in our building.
Guys, this just got super real.
It's time for another one of my DIY projects in my garage. My project today is to build myself a stand or a set of shelves to hold my jack stands. Jack stands are terrible because they take up a ton of floor space and you can't really stack them. So I'm trying to decide how to get rid of these things. So what I've come up with is I'm actually going to build a vertical shelf, if you will, with 4 separate shelves for the jack stands. I decided decided to go vertical instead of horizontal because I want to minimize the space that it takes up on my wall, because I'm going to try and put other things on there as well. So this way, I can set them vertically and I'm not taking up a whole lot of footprint on my wall. So I'm going to make myself 9.5 inches wide by 7.5 inches deep.
No gods, only devils. Malcap feels herself slide free from her body. The exorcism is sudden and effortless. Then come the whispers. I stoked your brother's fire, riled him that he might strike. I needed only the rumors to tear you free. The piercing of your heart will take some mending, but your vessel is fit for what is to come. I know this comes as a shock, but trust that my actions were such that you felt only the briefest pain as the edge broke through. And now, this. Now, peace. I asked not for peace, O hidden sister of shapes. You know this voice. I know you have many. I have heard their faint temptations since I was a child. Never have I sought their counsel. You have asked for nothing, this is true. You sought only to take. You are a willful, treacherous thing. I quite like you. Make no mistake, I see no fault in your desires, nor the attempt to see them realized. Your only sin in the eyes of those who matter was that you were not yet positioned to achieve the full extent of your potential. You saw a moment, and you moved to act, like countless others before you. But your action was not enough. Worse, it was limited in its view of the power hidden so plainly within your grasp. Akrazul is a force worthy of change. His fury will be of little consequence. Kill the ineffectual priests, murder the daughters of the failed prince, sully the sword logic, and crown a new ruler. Still, Swarm will be nothing more than a faint flicker when the time comes for the cosmos and all its intentions to be weighed and judged by those who sit on thrones beyond our imagination. My path, the sacrifice made here, will serve to carve my intentions upon concerns more immediate than those that await at the end of all things. Then we agree. My dismissal of the Swarm's legacy is not a plea for you to consider gods wholly removed from the here and now. Quite the opposite. The dragon and the worm, the larva, the queen, the peasant, the god. So many deities, so many rules. There are endless myths etched into the plane called life. They are not hope or promise or power. They are exaggerations born of misunderstandings. Yet they govern so much. Your actions and mine. Day to day, cycle to cycle, evolution to evolution. Always idols to guide and punish and love and destroy. But are any true? Whom must we placate with worship and reverence, with offerings and sacrifice, with praise as armor for their frail egos? The truth is, dear child, there are no gods, only absolutes. Yet here we sit, on the edge of the greatest unmaking. Time is no longer time when Radiolaria dance upon history gone and yet to be. Space is no longer space when we have torn reality to carve out our own secret planes of being. Death is no longer death when the champions of the light rise and fall, never backing down, never truly knowing defeat. All that remains is ignorance, the last absolute, the final, unassailable truth. Time can be bent and broken, redirected to the whims of those with the knowledge and the will. Space can be shredded asunder, excavated to discover new and ancient realms not chained to understanding. Death can be ignored, proving possible energies and advanced technologies both physical and indistinguishable from magic. One can learn more, but none can learn all. What then? When immortality and the totality of space and time can be joined to learn the last of the unknowns. When the final absolute falls, reality will shudder and blink, and a new absolute will emerge. An ending. Total. Complete. You wish to see that end? I wish to ensure it does not come to pass. Will you take me with you? I had considered such a thing, but no. Your purpose is served. How so, if I have failed? You have failed in furthering your own goals, poor thing. Not mine. Malkamp considers these words and is overcome with a sudden, final sense of dread as she feels her essence fade to nothingness. Her last thought is of her sister.
Life gets busy, and whether you're running around town or getting ready to leave it, we're here at Valvoline Instant Oil Change with the same stay-in-your-car oil change and the same expert care you can trust. Trust the experts to keep you moving.
Savathun's plan here, involving the light and its impossible mechanics, is somewhat noted and touched on, given that it is one of the means by which the powers of the universe are bent and broken, as she notes in her perspective. But she also hints a little further as to what her endgame really was. Savathun perhaps wishes to become one with constant ignorance, to become one with it in a similar manner perhaps to Oryx's eventual plans of ascension, where he too might become an axiom. Savathun states that all of this is a means to prevent the great unmaking and cataclysm of the universe that will create an end, total and absolute. What this ending, this cataclysm might be, well, we can only guess. But at the same time, I feel as though on the horizon, something named the final shape might provide us the answer. Finally, we also need to pay attention to Savathun's words within the last city, where she observed the power of the ghosts, the Traveler's Light, the abilities of the Guardians, and how she was growing weaker at the hands of her woman. All of these took place within the Hawkmoon and retro-futurist lore tabs, as well as the ripe lore entry from the Beneath the Endless Night lore books. They demonstrate that under the guise of Osiris, Savathun's intent has been clear enough for us to see it. We had the inspiration and imagination to envision it. Constantly, there was the looking up of the Traveler, the observation of the ghosts and their power, of the light and the abilities that Guardians were able to wield with it, and of the indomitable spirit that they bore around as they wielded such power. Ultimately then, I suppose if you had enough inspiration, you would have been able to see that Savathun was indeed intending to take the light for quite some time. As Ikora notes in the gameplay trailer, she went into hiding after her brother's death, his death being the proof absolute, for her at least, that the darkness was in fact not the way to survive, and that such things could be challenged. As a result, the Witch Queen will not be unprepared for anything that is thrown her way. She will not take anything lightly, and she will make sure that whatever action she takes, it is measured and calculated with the precision of a being that has existed for millennia upon millennia, who knows the very dynamics of the universe itself, and who understands how to tip the balance of a person simply through a moment of raw influence. This is Savathun's truth. Her trickery, her penchant for being able to deceive us has always been her strongest suit. But now I feel as though we need to understand and maybe wonder that she would perhaps not enact this plan unless she needed to. There is one more thing we can truthfully believe. It's that the Witch Queen was indeed preparing for something. She would have no reason to lie to one such as Malkamp, whose existence was about to be snuffed out. She would have no reason to do so whatsoever. Having said all of that, such things as involving Savathun never never quite as simple as they appear. And I think that there's one thing that we can all judge and all understand. It's simply this. Treat her with the same caution that you always have. Do not allow her honeyed words to be masked as anything other than the foul poison that they are. She is indeed trying to sway us to her side even in this moment, even as our reality starts to bend in around us. This is indeed the dangerous moment, where Savathun is able to do, with a degree of safety, what she is best at doing, conducting her plans, manipulating others, and using trickery to get what she wants. Beware of the Witch Queen. She is now perhaps more powerful than she has ever been. But that's all from me for now. If you enjoyed this video and if you want more like it on the lead up to Witch Queen, go ahead and leave a like and let me know your own thoughts in the comments section down below. Of course, if you want more content like this, you can also hit subscribe, and you can hit the bell next to subscribe to stay tuned for those email notifications. But of course, know that your viewership, as always, is quite enough for me. And that in the meantime, my name is Guy. Rodacia ad Astra. I'll see you, Starside.
Legendary director Clint Eastwood returns.
Don't miss a beat. And discover new music.
Emergency Supply. I provide gear and supplies for emergency situations.
Hi, I am also a fellow patriot.
Whoa, what are you doing here? This is my commercial.
Yeah, I just thought I'd join you since I pretty much do the same thing.
Actually, we are very different, but I did notice that you use a similar name.
Oh, yeah, thanks for that. See, we're the same.
Like I was saying, we are an emergency supply company, and we've earned our reputation as a respected leader when it comes to preparedness and self-reliance. Our meals are freshly produced and delivered right to your door. And they last up to 25 years.
Oh, yeah, this is great stuff.
You're still here, aren't you?
Yep, mine is kind of the same.
Okay, so can you deliver quickly?
Well, not everyone can deliver with lightning speed. What does it matter? In the end, you'll eventually have it. And it can feed your family in times like hurricanes, earthquakes, power outages, and...
Oh, it's all very scary, but not quite as scary as your calorie count, right?
For emergencies, people are desperate at that point.
Exactly. That's when they need it the most. All of our meals are made with quality food and have 2,000 calories per day.
Murder hornets are on the rise. This is serious. Everyone stay inside. Buy food storage.
We don't use scare tactics. We don't outsource. We take pride in the quality of our food, and we're there for you when you need us the most. You okay there, buddy?
Alaska. Wonder what's going on this island. Nice.
2025, the Sierra Research Institute made a major genetic breakthrough by cloning two extinct animals, the Samaritan rhino and doe.
So what happened next?
The financial